Imagine, you're going about your daily life and you start receiving anonymous letters revealing your deepest secrets. In the year 1976, this nightmare became a reality for the residents of Circleville, Ohio. At the heart of this enigma was Mary Gillespie, a school bus driver, who became the first victim of the anonymous letter writer. The letters were postmarked from Columbus, and they were no ordinary pieces of mail. They were filled with accusations, alleging that Mary was having an illicit affair with the school superintendent, a claim that she vehemently denied. The letters were not only addressed to Mary, but also to her husband and even her children. What started as a single accusatory letter quickly spiraled into a series of messages, each one more sinister than the last. As the letters kept coming, the accusations grew more serious, turning this mystery into a town-wide paranoia. Little did the residents of Circleville know this was just the beginning of a mystery that would span decades, leaving a trail of questions in its wake. The letters did not stop at accusing Mary. The stakes were about to get higher. A maelstrom was brewing in the quiet town of Circleville, Ohio. The mysterious letters, initially accusing Mary Gillespie of an illicit affair, took a sinister turn. The anonymous writer now claimed to know every intimate detail of the townsfolk's lives, and the secrets spilled were far from trivial. Mary's husband, Ron Gillespie, was the next target. The letters ominously foretold of dire consequences if Ron ignored them. Then, one day, Ron's car was found wrapped around a tree. The man who had led a life of quiet respectability in Circleville was no more. The sheriff hastily attributed the accident to drunk driving. But the letter writer had a different story to tell. In a chilling twist, the letters accused the officials of a cover-up. The writer claimed Ron's death was no accident, but a carefully orchestrated murder. The town was in shock. Fear and suspicion loomed over Circleville like a dark cloud. Who could be orchestrating such a plot? And why? The anonymous letters continued to rain down on the town, each one more menacing than the last. The writer seemed to know everything about everyone, dredging up secrets best left buried. The letters were postmarked from Columbus, a city just 25 miles away, yet they seemed to be the work of someone much closer to home. The stakes were higher than ever, and the town was on edge. The letter writer had shown they were capable of not just revealing secrets, but also orchestrating events with deadly outcomes. The line between reality and paranoia blurred, and trust became a scarce commodity in Circleville. The writer of these letters seemed to know everything, and no one was safe. It seemed like the anonymous writer could be anyone, but the police had one person in their sights. This person was none other than Paul Freshour, Mary's brother-in-law. Now, Freshour was an intriguing character in this tale. He was just an ordinary law-abiding citizen, a family man with no prior criminal record. But as the case unfolded, he found himself in the midst of the chaos. The plot thickened when, in 1983, Mary Gillespie encountered a booby-trapped box containing a gun. If triggered, the gun was designed to shoot whoever opened it. Fortunately, Mary discovered the trap before it could cause harm. The gun was traced back to none other than Paul Freshour. But here's where things get even more complicated. Freshour insisted that the gun had been stolen from him, and he had nothing to do with the booby trap or the letters. He maintained his innocence, even when his ex-wife came forward to implicate him in the crimes. Despite his pleas, Freshour was subjected to a lie detector test, which he, unfortunately, failed. This failure, coupled with the mounting evidence and his ex-wife's allegations, led to his arrest. Freshour was charged with attempted murder, the crime linked to the booby-trapped gun meant for Mary. The anonymous letters, however, were not part of his charges due to lack of concrete evidence tying them to him. The court trial was highly controversial, with many believing that Freshour was wrongfully accused. But in the end, Freshour was found guilty and sentenced to prison. Despite his claims of innocence, Freshour was convicted. But the story doesn't end here. With Freshour behind bars, the town should have been safe, but the letters did not stop. Imagine the collective gasp of Circleville, Ohio, when the postman continued his ominous deliveries. The reign of terror was far from over, even with Paul Freshour paying for his alleged crimes behind cold prison bars. The letters, filled with threats and accusations, continued to flood mailboxes across town, the ink just as venomous, the words just as sharp. The unnerving reality began to sink in. Had they imprisoned the wrong man? Was the real perpetrator still lurking in the shadows, penning these terrifying letters with a smirk, watching their town unravel at the seams? The plot thickened. The accusations in the letters grew more severe, the threats more chilling. And as the residents of Circleville continued to live in a state of constant unease, the whispers of doubt grew louder. Could it have been a case of mistaken identity? Could Freshour have been merely a scapegoat? And if not Freshour, then who? The letters were not the work of an outsider. They were too intimate, too personal. They were penned by someone who knew their secrets, their fears, and their histories. The residents were forced to look at their neighbors with suspicion, wondering if the person they were sharing a cup of coffee with in the morning was the same one terrorizing them at night. Theories swirled around town, pointing fingers at other potential suspects. Some speculated it was Freshour's ex-wife, still bitter from their divorce. Others suggested her new boyfriend, possibly in a twisted attempt to frame Freshour. But without concrete evidence, these remained mere conjectures, whispers in the wind. And so, the letters continued, a grim reminder of the unresolved mystery that had dug its claws into the heart of Circleville. Despite the passage of time, the fear remained, the threat of the next letter, the next accusation, the next life to be upended. The chilling reality was, the real Circleville letter writer might still be out there. Despite numerous investigations and theories, the Circleville letters mystery remains unsolved. It's a narrative that's been woven over decades, a tale of a small town under siege by an unseen tormentor. The letters, filled with accusations and threats, didn't just target individuals. They shook the very foundations of the community, breeding suspicion and fear among neighbors. Over the course of 20 years, more than 1,000 letters were sent, each one a chilling reminder of the secrets lurking beneath the surface of everyday life. The letters cost people their jobs, their marriages, their freedom, and sometimes their lives. Despite this, the mystery of who was behind the letters remains unresolved. The case officially closed with the conviction of Paul Freshour, Mary Gillespie's brother-in-law. Yet the letters continued even while Freshour was behind bars, leading many to question if the real culprit was still at large. Freshour maintained his innocence throughout, and many believe him. Suspicions have been cast on other potential suspects, including Paul's ex-wife and her boyfriend. Theories have been spun, each one adding another layer to the intricate web of this mystery, yet none have provided the definitive answer that would finally put the town's collective unease to rest. The enduring impact of the mystery on the victims and the town of Circleville can't be overstated. It's a story that seeped into the very identity of the town, a chilling tale of a faceless adversary who knew too much. It's a stark reminder that even in the most seemingly peaceful communities, dark secrets can lurk just beneath the surface. Today, the Circleville letters mystery continues to captivate true crime enthusiasts and armchair detectives alike, each hoping to unravel the tangled threads of this enigma. Theories abound, yet the truth remains elusive. Perhaps one day, the identity of the letter writer will come to light, providing closure to this long-standing mystery. In the end, the Circleville letters mystery serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.